Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dark Souls 3 Completion Guide. After a tragic state of affairs that was the last episode, we're hoping this one goes slightly better. There's going to be some hollows that will scream down here, which will alert other nearby enemies. That is a worthy thing of note, because if you don't expect it to happen, it's probably going to happen when you when you don't want it to. And the next thing you know, you're just going to get overran. So it's worthy of note right off the bat. Here's one of your new enemies. And it's going to be one of your least favorite. I'm not entirely certain exactly how it works, but it works, simply put, by being within line of sight of them, of these jailers, or something akin to that. They actually drain your max HP. I've had them do it when they're on the ground, I've had them do it while they're standing up, I've had them do it when I'm in line of sight. I don't rightfully know exactly how it works. It's only slightly obnoxious. Mainly because it doesn't do damage, but it does do damage. Like, it's not actually damaging you, but it does decrease your health, so it's kind of a really annoying juxtaposition. Now down here, we have more of the cage enemies. I'm gonna deal with them the same way we did everything. Give a little poke, and move on with our lives. Now, fire is kind of a bit of an important thing to have access to for the first chunk of this, because there's a lot of things that are weak to fire. These hollows here actually also are very similar to the maggot hollows that are all throughout the cathedral. They have an attack that'll increase bleed, and actually this guy right here, I don't think I can hit through the crate. Just a bit too far out of my range. So unfortunately I have to open it. But luckily we can fire. Moving along, now that we've cleared the bottom half of this and the upper half of this cage is locked until we get some keys later on. There's going to be a lot of locked doors we're going to have to backtrack through in order to get. We can now cross the bridge. That's locked from this side. There's another jailer. Quickly remove it from power. Deal with all the hollows. Looting and moving on. I have another new enemy to deal with. It's this ugly dragon baby looking thing. A couple of them are docile, a couple of them are not. Better just to remove them from the equation and having to deal with them later. Behind this gate here is one of the keys. There's a lot of them. to put it bluntly. Open our backtrack shortcut. Now in here, there is a lot of jailers. And if you manage to survive getting hit by that soldering iron, it actually does something. I don't know what it does exactly, but it like slows you down, prevents you from moving. And like I said before, it doesn't matter how much HP you have, because the jailers will make sure that it doesn't matter how much you have. So I'm effectively going to be down to like 1 health by the time this encounter is over with. And it's not really gonna matter, because I'm still gonna have to heal from it. So yeah, jailers are annoying. Think you're at full health? Oh, just kidding. You gotta wait, because it's progressive based on how much HP, or like how quickly your HP has gone down. It's a debuff that lasts for a specific amount of time. In here is one of the few, actually I suppose there's a lot more of these that fight back than there are ones that don't. Simple gem, move out here, there's another. Poke him. Forgot that there was 2. And that crystal lizard's actually gonna run off if we try and go near it. So instead, we're gonna use that jailbreaker key that we just got. And we're gonna go this way, because the jailbreaker key opens this side passage. Gonna drop down here, grab the bellowing drain crest ring, oh, it was an arrow, crossbow, bolt, whatever you want to call it. I was like, I don't recall any arrows that cause bleed damage. Alright, now we're going to backtrack to where we would have come down had we gone out that way, because it'll be easier to kill the gem lizard when it's running away from us after it has to turn around. Just like that, we got it dead. Could just leave that one locked in there. There's no real plus or downside to opening the door, but for completionist sake, we're going to open the door. 250 souls, really not worth. But now we can proceed. This area is known for having the most mimics per square capita, or like most mimics in the entirety of the game. This area, to my immediate thought, has, I want to say 5, maybe 6 mimics. Like every other chest is a mimic, if not more than that. There might be actually more than 6. So we're going to proceed down the end of the hallway here, through all of these hollows. I shouldn't try and engage all of them. At least not all in one fell swoop like that. Now that hollow sounding breathing noise, that is another problem we're going to have to deal with. And it's actually easier to deal with it sooner rather than later. So we're going to do just that. They're actually going to remove... Yeah, let's remove our Pyromancy ring. And we're going to swap it out for the Silver Cat. Going to drop. And then through this door here, you'll notice what's making that noise. It's a giant. And actually underneath the giant's arms is a gem lizard. And it's really unfortunate that it's there, because we can't attack the giant and the gem lizard without waking the giant. So we're going to do our best. Drop. And kill the gem lizard. And then we're just going to roll past the giant. Get to the pickaxe here. Kill the rats. I'll be coming back for the giant, don't you worry. There is a significant shortcut in the very near future that I would rather get and not have the potential to lose before the giant gets the opportunity to outright murder me. Because we're not doing too great on Estus right now either. So we're going to cleave our way through the rats, open up this door. Over here, got a large titanite shard on our way out. Take an immediate left, do not stop. Up here we have the opportunity to grab the dragon torso stone. And we have an elevator. The elevator is going to go up and up and up. It's going to give us access to one of the major shortcuts. Back here, where all of this stuff was. But seeing as we're already here, we've already got the silver cat ring equipped. We may as well grab one more item. Lightning Blade Miracle. Send that back up, because we're probably going to need to write it down more than we're going to need to write it back up. And we're going to backtrack to the giant room. There's a lot of jailers. Whole metric fuckload of jailers. That's not even the worst of it. Alright. Come up here. Two chests at the end here. The chest on the right is a good chest. The chest on the left is a mimic. You literally cannot win in this situation. This is one of the weird mimics. There's two. I say it's weird, I mean it's like crab walking everywhere. So you try and open the left chest, you get attacked by the mimic. You try and open the right chest to actually get an old cell key, which we're going to use later on. And you have a shit ton of these little fuckers coming out of nowhere. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay. Yep. Your options are fight a mimic or fight a bunch of basilisks. It's not great. Damn it. No, that's going to kill me. Fuck. Oh well. No major damage done, I suppose. Since we still have the Silver Cat ring on, we could take that shortcut all the way back and then have to fight all the rats. Or we can do something slightly different. We can sprint past everything. Actually wonder... Nope. Using an ember does not actually restore your full health. It only restores the health that you have plus the 20%. That's super cool. I'm going to ignore these guys. Hop down here. Not disturb the giant this time. Top off. Slow down. Alright. There's no purpose in killing the basilisks, really, so we're just gonna grab our souls and get the fuck out. I'm gonna go back to the giant room. And we're gonna drop. We're going to immediately run, take the elevator up. Simply because this actually takes us right back to the first bonfire. There's this whole area is just a giant cavalcade of just twisty, turny paths with shortcuts and shortcuts and shortcuts, and really it's just a matter of figuring out which ones you deem are actually worth it and which ones you deem are not. Now, this area is filled with rats, and the rats do not stop spawning. They will keep spawning constantly. So we're here to grab the pyromancy, our cyanide shards, and then we're here to kill the giant. Why is it always that every single time that we try and kill a giant, we also have to deal with other little things around the giant? Like if it wasn't the, it's not rats here, it was the slimes in the cathedral. Just, it doesn't matter. Like, we're always gonna have to deal with something alongside a giant. Almost dead. Still no. Wonderful. Alright, cool. I'm gonna run in here after we collect what the giant dropped. Chunks are still kind of rare and hard to get. I was gonna say, are any of the rats gonna follow us? Because, you know, why not? They keep spawning infinitely, why not? Here's yet another mimic. So this makes mimic number 3. Out of the 4 chests that we have seen so far in the Irithel dungeon, 3 have been mimics. From here we can take the ladder all the way up. Another ridiculously tall ladder. Now that I'm actually climbing these ladders again, I am noticing that there's a lot of really tall ladders. So drop us onto a roof, which we can then jump to the other roof. Grab another thing here. We can avoid everybody here. Grab this, because Soul of Crestfallen Knight is, I think, I want to say it's at least 8,000 souls. So now, go back to where the rats were, past the rats, past the bigger rats, and we march ever forward into hell. We don't need the silver cat on anymore, and we're gonna need pyromancies, so We're gonna run straight across this room filled with jailers into the room with all the dragon babies. Right, I forgot that their spears are actually do have a weapon art attached to them. The Profaned coal, which will give us the last of our upgrades that we can get from Andre. I'll run right across here and get Alva's armor, another pretty solid set. We may as well actually kill as many of these as we can. Because there's things we're going to have to do here in the near future anyways. Alternatively, this room contains a lycanthrope, and he's not a big fan of these jailers. Can actually release the lycanthrope and run away. I don't think I aggroed him, which is unfortunate. Oh yeah, I did. And you can let the lycanthrope, excuse me, do a lot of your dirty work for you. And then finish him off. Take him out of his misery. The place is just such a drain on Estes. We're still not done because there's still the one up there. I mean, this one's pretty much inconsequential. At least for now. So then we can come over here, where we have another mech. The only thing profaned about this capital is the amount of mimics that they have. They're more mimics than anything. They have a lot of things here, but mimics, man. Just all mimics. Open up this gate, Xanthus ashes, and get spooked. I can come out here, down the staircase, loot a couple more items, and then hope we get lucky. Because there's a gargoyle right there. It's going to jump onto the bridge, but he's been known to be inaccurate with his the distance of his jumps. Nope, he was pretty accurate this time around. We're actually just going to ignore him, run past. Definitely could have just fallen down, but we're just going to take the ladder for shits and giggles. And we're going to take this ladder up. Get another undead bone shard, a new emote. And we're going to light the bonfire. And we're going to rest at it. Now, if we really wanted to, we could just go down this really tall ladder. And through those doors is Yorm. But we'd be missing out on a lot of things. Titanite slab, the ability to learn more pyromancies, more spells, more sorceries, upgrade materials, This is like the equivalent of like the old Demon King. Like, you could have just gone immediately to the old Demon King, but doing so would have lost us a lot of items. Climbing up this ladder will actually show us. Oh, we could see the other gargoyle from here. If I'm mistaken. But grab some more rusted coins. You can slide down here. Now a gargoyle will pop up, and we can either fight the gargoyle, or we can run past him. I think for the sake of the argument, considering this is the first time we have to fight him, I'm just gonna kill him. Not super hard, at least this point in time. Now running up here, you can see a gem lizard. Ignore that gem lizard. For now. Run this way, you'll run into another gem lizard. Kill that gem lizard. Run this way, this is the other one that we had ignored. And then running this way. And up here, you'll find some more rusted gold coins. Now that faint cricking noise you're hearing is a lot of those spider hand ladies moving around. Those things. Problem is that the floor here isn't poison, it's toxic. So it actually does a lot more than just poison damage. However, there's also items back there that we want to be able to do and grab. This building in general is one of my least favorite parts of the Profaned capital. Curse Bite Ring, and I think over here is more blooming herbs. Oh, it's a poison gem, even worse. As fun as dealing with toxic is, it's really not. This is where if you had Caressing Tears, it would be really nice to use. But, seeing as I don't have Caressing Tears, we're going to have to make do. We did get a couple blooming purple clumps. Seeing as we're not going to be dealing with the lower section as of this current moment in time, we're just going to keep moving. This is part of the reason why I hate this building. These things are susceptible to bleed, as all things with a bajillion HP are. They're also disgusting. They have a belly full of eyeballs, and a hand full of teeth, and they fight like the ogres from DS2. Is very clumsily. This is where if you had the Warden Twin Blades or Karthus Rogue, you'd want to use that, because they bleed out really quickly. Alright. Core Sorcerer stuff. Surprise, surprise, yet another Mimic. Ow. Got bitch slapped by a Mimic. I don't know how I feel about that. Court Sorcerer's Staff, probably one of the more powerful catalysts in the game. Rubbish. In here I know that there's a +1 ring on New Game. But we're still not done. Not even with this building. So we go around this side, we go up, and up. And there's a pretty proficient sorcerer up here. When I say that, I mean he does a lot of damage. But, once again, he's a standard NPC, which we can just PvP poke to get Logan's scroll from him. Over here, grab some poison arrows. Nothing really here, so we can move on. Drop down here, back into the room to get Wrath of Gods. Significantly worse than it was in DS1, but still worth grabbing, as every item is. Now that old cell key that we had gotten, we're finally going to get some use out of. There's a little gap here that you can jump. Now, up here is three extremely useful things. Numero uno, we have the covetous gold serpent ring. Numero dos, we have Sigurd. Numero tres, as we talk to Sigurd, he gives us a Titanite slab, and he will actually help us out on the Yorm fight. So we just gained ourselves an ally, and also gained a Titanite slab and the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring. Coming up here, it looks like it's empty. It's not. Couple of jailers. Get rid of them as quickly as possible, because if you don't, they'll follow you. Now we can grab the jailer's keyring. The jailer's keyring, we can open up a lot of things that we couldn't open up before, and we will be going to go and open those up, because I really don't want to deal with the basement of that place yet. So we're just going to actually just ignore that for now. Actually going to just drop into the rat room, go past all the rats, and we're basically just gonna like kind of re-walk through a large portion of this place, or re-go through, because that key unlocks quite a bit of things, quite a bit of useful things, mind you, and some useless. So now that we have the key ring, there is a room on the far right here to use the jailer's keyring for, which contains a rusted gold coin. Next, just to kill, so you don't come back and stab me in the back later. See, like, they were in the process of getting up and I lost max HP. I don't understand how the jailers work. It's like red light, green light, so maybe it's whenever I move. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Use the jailer's keyring to open up this door, which has the prisoner's chief ashes in it. And then the next place we use it is like one of the last primary places we'll be using it, actually. We're unfortunately going to go back to the room that had all of the jailers in it. See, that rat did a lot of damage, actually. This time, instead of fighting everything, we're just going to run past the jailers here. This is the last thing we'll need to use that key for. That's Carla. Just literally spam through conversations, and then we're going to head back to the shrine bonfire. There's a lot of things that we have, that we want to have, and a lot of things that we don't have that we want to have. We have a lot of souls that we want to have, but before we do that, we have 2 ashes to give her. One of them means we can buy large titanite shards, but that's unfortunate because we don't have any express need to buy those. We have access to Smo's gear now, Tarkus's gear, Horus's gear. We have Carla's gear. We have the Xanthus overcoat, Xanthus gloves, Xanthus pants. We got the hat from Yellowfinger Hazel. You can buy Oni Slayer great arrows now. For the Oni Slayer bow that we can get, dark arrows, just do dark damage. A lot of things from her now. And finally, we actually have access to Carla, who will actually, as base, teach you some dark sorceries. Something that are like, it's alright. I'm not a huge fan of dark sorceries. They feel like they don't do as much as they should. We can also give her Pyromancy tomes. So then we can learn Fire Whip, Firestorm, Report, Black Flame, and Black Fire Orb. You can also give her the 2 bad tomes, and she will actually say no the first time, but after you say, hey, like, I saved you, you owe me, she'll take the other 2. She'll unlock Dark Blade, Vow of Silence, Dead Again, Deep Protection, and Gnaw. Those we could have actually learned from Irina if we actually gave them to her, but we want the good ending to Irina's questline. Give him the Profaned Coal. We don't have enough chunks to get that up, but we do have enough chunks to get this up. And with that, we actually have more infusion options. You can actually use the Hollow Gem, which scales with how you're hollowing. The Blood Gem, which would be nice to use. A whole bunch of other gems that we just didn't have access to. Gonna reinforce the Estus Flask because we have the shard. I don't think we actually have any bone. No, we do have bone dust. And then finally, last but not least, because we found another scroll, and give that to Logan. Not Logan. Or Beck, because we found Logan's scroll. That'll give us access to things like Crystal, or like Soul Spear, and Homing Soul Mass, and a bunch of pretty solid sorceries. And now that we've gotten everything else that we wanted, except Black Flame. Because Black Flame is basically Great Combustion, but it does more damage to poise. So we're actually going to get rid of Great Combustion and we're going to replace it with Black Flame. But some of the other things that we had learned. Profaned Flame engulfs foes at a large range, causes them to explode. It's pretty potent. And Sacred Flame, you grab your opponent and you just essentially hold them in your hands and then they explode. It's a pretty sweet pyromancy, but it's not super duper necessary. But you know, it's something that you can get. Now level up some more. I was kind of hoping for 20 endurance, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. I figured I should mention this actually. Soft caps on these skills, that way you don't just waste your levels. Vigor's soft cap is 50, Attunement's soft cap is 35, Endurance soft cap is 40, Vitality really doesn't have a soft cap, Strength is at 50, Dex is at 50, Intelligence and Faith, I believe they soft cap around like a 50 or 60, somewhere around in there. Kind of, it's not super useful information, but it's moderately useful information. So, you know, do with it what you will. We have one last thing, one last area to trek to. And unfortunately, this sword is not going to do me the point I need it to do. This is where having, like, the Grave Warden Twin Blades, like a bandit knife, or any significant weapon with bleed, hell, even the Corvian Great Scythe, would be very useful to have. Because unfortunately, as is our decision to go and get all the items, kind of need to get all the items. Which unfortunately includes the basement of this godforsaken place. Ooh, that was close. I thought I was gonna get toxic. We'll wait for them to come to us. Kinda hoping you would have came less quickly, but you know. It is what it is. Because in here, we have 3 of those stupid beasts. We're actually gonna lure the one out as much as we can. When it rears up on its hind legs, get the hell out of the way, because it's going to eat you, like that. The grabbing animation is very quick. If you spam the right triggers, you can actually get out of it. I get trapped against the wall against this thing, aren't I? The Eleonora. It's a very potent axe. See how quickly the bleed procs on these guys? Unfortunately, doesn't change the fact of just how fucking disgusting these things are. And just how fucking clumsy they are, that they can just fucking jump, like literally just roll fucking around and do massive amounts of damage. And also grab you and just punch you. I fucking hate these enemies. Not my least favorite in the game, but they are certainly down there. They are in my top 5 least favorite. And I'm happy to have gotten a riposte on the last one. So then the one that drops the Eleonora, there's really no one that's worth killing. Alright, another bonfire. Going into the last vestiges of this area. Down another very tall ladder. And immediately that fire down there is going to start shooting fireballs at you at rapid speeds. What we are here to do is we're going to grab this item, the Oni Slayer Great Bow, Great Arrows. And we're going to drop down here, drop down here, drop down here, and drop down here finally. We're not out of range of the that fire, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to do anything because they leave the fire and start coming after us. Now these are similar to the jailers, except they don't have the stupid health drain ability. They do have pyromancies, but comparatively to the jailers, I'd take these guys over the jailers every single day. There is a lot of gargoyles here. Gargoyles like to put their wings up, fly away, and just be generally obnoxious. They're not terrible to deal with, but they're just, like I said, generally obnoxious. Now, whereas the first Lord of Cinder wasn't really a joke, but it was definitely a good challenge for a person at a decent skill level. And Aldrich actually is a pain in the ass. Yorm is a bit of a joke, especially if you do Sigurd's questline. But it's fine, because we're not at Yorm yet. Not quite yet. I do love how the vestiges actually cleave through enemies. another gargoyle. Ow, that was actually a good lunge for you. Piece of shit. That's problematic. Yeah, they put their shield up. They put their wing up to shield themselves, and then they break from behind the wing, go after your shield, do some damage. Here is the only second chest in the entirety of this fucking area that isn't a mimic. Keep in mind, I said it's the only second chest, not a mimic. And how we have two more chests in front of us. Note, if you had an Undead Hunter Charm and you were searching for your Mimic Head yet, this would be the place to use it. Get two mimics with one stone. However, that's not what we're about. We want to engage one, get it to go away, so we can kill it. I don't know exactly how that roll works, but whatever. Great Shield of Glory. It is the strongest Great Shield in the game. It actually has the highest ability of all Great Shields. It just drains your stamina regeneration by 20%. So it comes at a cost, but it is the strongest Great Shield in the game. Rusted gold coins, and finally we are ready to face Yorm. Now the problem with Yorm is a simple one. His health bar is stupid. You are not meant to fight Yorm in a one-on-one fight. But because we did Sigurd's quest line, Sigurd's here to help out. Now, Sigurd has a weapon called the Storm Ruler, and it does this. 2,600 damage to Yorm. Fun fact, Storm Ruler, we get our own right here. This is how you're supposed to be Yorm. It's a bit of a cop-out. A lot of people didn't like the fact that they did Yorm so dirty. Like, he was revealed to be this amazing, giant-ass boss, but they just did him so dirty. They're just like, hey, you want to be able to fight this giant? Yeah, you do. And all you have to do is just charge up the Storm Ruler and hit him with it, and he falls over. The only trade-off is that you need to you can only charge it up when you have stamina. And unfortunately for us, because we did Yorm second, we're actually not going to be able to do all the things with Sigurd. And actually, no, we need to get to this bonfire. We need to get to this bonfire. We need to get to this bonfire. Go. Cool. Because now that we got this bonfire lit, the game doesn't give two shits about what we want to do. Because it's going to teleport us away anyways. It teleports us to Lothric Castle. We've done everything that the lady in the chair asks us to do, except we've killed her, so it doesn't matter. She still is the one that teleports us here. But seeing as we have this this ability and this opportunity, we may as well back to back. Walking up to that with the Basin of Vows has us do the Dancer fight, the second boss fight in the High Hall of Lothric. Dancer is interesting. Austin Horrigan does a series on YouTube called The Science of certain different video games and whatnot. And the Dancer, he essentially said that like every single Dark Souls boss, an enemy in the game, operates on like a 1/4 melody, which is like if you've done anything with music, like it's like on beat they telegraph the attack, second beat you dodge the attack, and then on the off beat you avoid you dodge the attack, and then essentially put it's done in quarter notes very well to the point where you know when a boss is telegraphing an attack. And the reason why so many people have trouble with the Dancer is because her attacks don't come in the same beats. It comes in very off beats with very little window to perceive when they're coming. Long story short, Dancer is very hard for a lot of people because they don't know when the attacks are coming. Like, they can see the attacks, but they don't actually know when the actual hit's going to happen. And I actually am not doing a very great job of proving the fact that I can actually beat the Dancer. Even though I have a video on the exact channel that this video is going to go up on that proves that I can do it, because I did it on a level 20 character before I even left High Wall. But there's the Dancer dead. Another one of the fights that is quite difficult. Now, you can do cleanup. Now we have a shit ton of souls. 82,000 is not actually all of it. There we go. That's more like it. We have 2 boss souls to transmute. We're going to go back to Yorm, because after you beat Yorm, after completing the Sigurd's quest line, Sigurd dies. He drops his shield, another Storm Ruler, and his full armor set. The armor set you bought from patches. Yep, it comes back to give you itself back. So, the Dancer bonfire is hanging out in Lothric Castle, which will be the next video. But we have 2 boss souls to transpose. Yorm's and Dancer's both actually aren't particularly useful, in my opinion. Dancer's kind of cool because you can get her blades or Soothing Sunlight. And Yorm's gives you either his Great Machete or his Great Shield. Both are, pretty alright. But we've got nothing new besides Yorm's head. Like, we've got nothing to give to anybody. We don't have any more things to give anybody in terms of things like books and whatnot. So now I can just level up. And we're gonna just level up these equally. How many chunks do we got? None, but we have a slab and a shit ton of Titanite. So we're actually, that's at +7. That's at +7. Those are basically the only 2 things I'm going to be using. Black Bow of Ferris will upgrade a little bit. And then our Blessed Red and White Shield we're going to upgrade a little bit. This shield has been helping us out through this entire fucking game. Now we can put the penultimate head up here. I'm trying to think if there's any other quest lines that are good to go right now. The answer to that is not really. So yeah. No bone shards, no flasks or shards. Yeah. We're basically good. We're about as good as we can get. So, that, I guess, that concludes the Profaned Capital bonfire. Profaned Capital, Yorb, all that fun stuff. Alright, so thank you all for watching, and in the next one we will either be we'll probably go doing the Consumed King's Garden, and then the Untended Graves after that, and then probably Dragon Barracks, and Grand Archives, and all the fun stuff. We're nearing the end of the game now. If we wanted to go rush towards the end of the game, we would just straight up go to Dragon Barracks, and from Dragon Barracks we would go to Grand Archives, and then from Grand Archives we would kill the princes, and then kill the Soul of Cinder, and we'd be done. But then we'd be missing out on 4 optional bosses, a whole bunch of items, and all the DLC, which we can do technically after we've beaten the main game anyways, which we might. But I think I'll save the Soul of Cinder to be the very last thing we do. It seems like that's the way it should be. So, thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next one.